Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to the video. So, we're going to be talking about the San Francisco 49ers, more so Brock Purdy, and then we're going to pivot to my team, my favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles, and we could talk about AJ Brown. All right, so Thursday night football, the game just ended between LA Rams and the San Francisco 49ers. The Rams won 12 to 6. So the Rams had 12, the 49ers had 6. This game was very important for the 49ers because they needed to win this game to get back into the playoff race. And I'm not quite sure, but I think them losing this game probably all but eliminates them from the playoffs. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that, but I know that they needed to win this game and they needed to win a lot of games moving forward. And to be frank, I just don't think that Brock Purdy, you know, is that guy, right? Um, you know, I know Brandon Ayuk is hurt and CMC Christian McCaffrey is hurt too, but he still has a lot of weapons on that offense, right? Trent Williams is playing. George Kittle played tonight. Um, Jawan Jennings played tonight. Ricky Pearsall played tonight, and Debo Samuels played tonight, right? So we always hear about it's the 49er system, it's the 49er system, right? So Brock Purdy still had a couple of weapons to throw the ball to. Um, you know, Kittle is definitely a top 15 player in the league. Um, Debo, I don't know. I probably would say he's definitely a top 40 player in the league, right? But Trent Williams is one of those dudes who's probably definitely a top 10 player, or top 10 or 15 player in the league. So Brock Purdy pretty much doesn't have any excuses, right? If you look at the box score, he was 14 for 31, 14 completions, 31 attempts, 142 passing yards. He averaged 10 yards per throw, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 3 sacks. Um, he had a QBR, a quarterback rating, if you believe in that type of stuff, of 45.4, which is terrible. And I just don't think that Brock Purdy is him. I think that the Brock Purdy experiment is coming to an end. I would not be shocked if, you know, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan moves on from Brock Purdy when it's time to pay him. I think that the magic that he had is pretty much all used up, right? Um, you know, is he a NFL player? Definitely, he's definitely an NFL player. Is he a starter in the NFL? Yes, he's definitely a starter, but he's a low end, low tier starter in the NFL. And I don't think that the 49ers want to give him the big payday that he's looking for. Does he deserve to get paid? Yes, he does deserve to get paid. He helped bring them to a Super Bowl. He's brought them in some deep playoff runs, right? He has a lot of victories under his belt, but I don't think you're just ever going to get to the promised land with Brock Purdy, right? You know, he's just a guy. He's not elite. He's just a guy, right? So um, there's a couple of tiers of NFL quarterbacks in the NFL, right? That first tier is Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, probably Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, right? And I think Brock Purdy is on that third tier, right? He's on that third tier. And I just don't think he's going to get Kyle Shanahan where he wants to be, which is optimally a Super Bowl, right? I don't think that's going to happen. And so with a contract looming, you're probably going to see the 49ers try to play hardball with him and try to give him probably somewhere around what, I don't know, Geno Smith makes or something like that. But they're not going to try to pay him top of the market, right? They're not going to try to pay him like a Dak Prescott, a Joe Burrow or something like that, right? They're probably going to try to pay him, something a little bit lower, maybe in the bottom uh, 32 quarterbacks, right? But you might even see Kyle Shanahan. Well, I shouldn't say. Well, I'm going to say Kyle Shanahan because I'm pretty sure him and John Lynch communicate on everything. But you probably see Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch attempt to maybe trade him, maybe try to trade him to a team that needs a quarterback or something like that, right? They might try to trade him something like that, right, and try to go back into the draft to get someone else, or maybe they might try to get another veteran who may be hitting the market or something like that. I don't know, but I don't think that um, Brock Purdy is the franchise quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, because it just seems like, um, you know, every year his performance kind of dips, right? Especially this season, his performance has definitely dipped. He has definitely taken a hit, and he doesn't really have many excuses, because I know they was banged up for a little while. But like I said, tonight you had what's his name? Trent Williams. Trent Williams played. Kittle played. Debo played. Brandon Jennings played. Right? Is his name Brandon Jennings? No, Jawan Jennings. Sorry, Jawan Jennings played. Right? So he had weapons. He had weapons tonight. They got back Greenlaw. Right? They got back Greenlaw on the defense. Fred Warner played. So Nick Bosa played. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think you give, um, well, shit, you give a lot of quarterbacks, starting quarterbacks in the league, those weapons, and they're gonna be able to win versus, a decently good Rams team, but not world beaters. And the 49ers wasn't able to get it done. So I don't know. I just don't think that Brock Purdy is that dude. I think he's always been overhyped by the media, because everyone wants to see another Tom Brady type situation. So they was hoping Brock Purdy would be that, but I don't think Brock Purdy is. So, but if you are a 49ers fan, I'm pretty sure you don't want to hear this, or maybe you do want to hear it. But hey, if just let me know whatever you think. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you think that Brock Purdy is a franchise quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers? Do y'all want to see him get paid or what have you? Let me know. Now we're going to pivot over to my Philadelphia Eagles, right? And I just want to talk about, AJ Brown. AJ Brown needs to shut the fuck up. If I'm just going to be frank, shut the fuck up. AJ Brown, I don't know what he did in high school, but the Eagles have pretty much changed his life. And I'm going to say it why I say it like that. Well, I am an SEC guy, right? I'm an LSU fan. And I remember, AJ Brown playing at Ole Miss, right? He was a good guy. He was a good wide receiver at Ole Miss, but he wasn't setting the world on fire at Ole Miss, right? They didn't win any national championships. They didn't go to any big bowl games, any of that stuff while he was at Ole Miss, right? And so he gets drafted. He goes to the Tennessee Titans. That team is not doing anything. They had a couple of playoff runs with Tannehill, but they wasn't really doing anything, right? And then Howie Roseman comes in and saves him and bring him to the Eagles, give him a big contract that he was looking for. Pretty sure that first contract that he got was able to, set his family up for a couple of generations, right? His kids, his wife, or whatever he got going on, right? And, they go to a Super Bowl. They have some deep playoff runs, right? He's able to propel himself as a top, um, you know, 10 wide receiver in the league, right? He's having phenomenal seasons, but yet he pouts. And he's not a team guy, right? You can just tell he's not a team guy. When you see Devontae Smith score, when you see Dallas Goedert score, when you see anyone else score that's not AJ Brown, he doesn't celebrate with him. He goes to the sideline, he puts his head down. He's just not a team guy. I don't know how he was raised, but he's very, very ungrateful, right? You are on a team currently that is what, 11-2. The Eagles have already clinched a playoff spot. Everything's looking up. The media pundits, right? The NFL media pundits are, mentioning the Eagles in the Super Bowl, right? I would love to see the Eagles go back to the Super Bowl and take on the Chiefs so we can beat Patrick Mahomes in his prime. But the Eagles have all of this going on, right? All of this positive stuff going on. Defense is the number one rated defense in the NFL. You got Saquon Barkley killing it. You got all of this stuff going on, right? Positive stuff. And this jackass decides to pout and get mad because he's not getting the ball thrown to him enough and say it to the media. You can tell it to anybody. Don't say it to the media. You know what the media is going to do. The media is just going to turn it into a circus. They're going to turn it into a firestorm. You got to think, last year, the Eagles started off really well, like 10-1 or whatever. And then the debacle, right? We had one of the greatest setbacks and downfalls of probably our NFL, right? And I gotta admit, as a fan, I'm on edge right now because here we go, right? We're in the playoffs already, right? We got a couple more games to go. We got a big game versus the Steelers, right? Interstate rivalry, right? Pittsburgh Steelers, Philadelphia Eagles, right? And AJ Brown wants to create a distraction by taking a shot at his quarterback. Dude, just shut the fuck up. What do you have to complain for? Are you complaining because maybe, you know, you trying to get a certain amount of stats so you can get your incentives? But y'all in the playoffs, so I'm pretty sure every player has an incentive in his contract that says if you make it to the playoffs, you get a bonus, right? You got to be a team player, bro. You got to be a team player. You have other people on the team that deserves some stats, right? You have Devontae Smith. You got Kakatura. You got Dallas Goddard when he comes back off injury. Oh, prime example. Look at Saquon Barkley. Look at Saquon Barkley. He had an opportunity to, break a record, and Nick Sirianni went to him and says, "Hey, man, you can break the record." And he says, "No, I want the young guys to eat." Right? Total team player. I mean, Saquon does a lot of the work. He gets us down in the red zone, and sometimes they put in Kenny Gainwell. Kenny Gainwell steals a touchdown. Or notoriously, they get down to the goal line and they do the tush push. And Jalen Hurts steal a touchdown from Saquon. I'm pretty sure for a certain amount of touchdown scored and rushing yards, Saquon Barkley will get a bonus or some type of incentive pay. I guarantee is in his contract. But he doesn't give a fuck because what he really wants is he wants overall team success and he wants the Eagles to win a Super Bowl. He wants to send a Super Bowl. He wants to win a Super Bowl. He doesn't care about his stats. So AJ Brown, you need to look up, man. And also too, the Eagles gave you an extension this offseason. I think at the beginning of the season or something like that. You just got an extension. You just got another payday by the Eagles. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and play ball. Shut the fuck up and block. And when you do get the ball thrown your way, make the most out of opportunities. Don't drop the ball. Catch and run. Right? Get open. When you do get an opportunity. And I think I told everyone that knows me knows that I say that I think that Jalen Hurts is afraid of AJ Brown because he's always trying to force the ball to AJ Brown. He never really looks for Devontae Smith. He only looks for Devontae Smith when Devontae Smith is the long starting wide receiver, right? I mean, when I'm talking about when AJ Brown is hurt or something, right? When AJ Brown is hurt and Devontae Smith is the main show in town, of course he gets all of the targets. But when AJ Brown and Devontae Smith are playing, Jalen Hurts barely even look for Devontae Smith, right? Because I do think that he's afraid of AJ Brown. But AJ Brown, man, shut the fuck up, man. Be quiet. The team has too much riding on it right now. We don't need you, you know, fucking up the chemistry in the locker room because you're being selfish. And then you got Nick Sirianni that comes out and says that um, he doesn't think that AJ Brown is a selfish guy. Are you shitting me? And I'm not going to talk about what Brandon Graham said because Brandon Graham was just keeping it real. He was just keeping it real. Nothing against Brandon Graham, but they need to. Jeffrey Lurie needs to come down from up high and talk to AJ Brown. And you know what? Honestly, man, this may be an extreme take, but if they decide to um, get rid of AJ Brown here in the future or something, I wouldn't be mad because you know Devontae Smith is a number one wide receiver, right? He's a number one wide receiver on a lot of teams in the NFL. He's just overshadowed by AJ Brown. And Howie Roseman, as long as Howie Roseman is a GM of the Eagles, I'm confident that Howie Roseman can go into the draft and get another wide receiver to play on side of Devontae Smith, or hell, he can finesse another team for another veteran starting number one wide receiver that's going to be less dramatic than AJ Brown. Think about some of the alphas, the alphas that never complained, right? Denard Hopkins, Julio Jones, right? Larry Fitzgerald, shit. A couple other guys, right? They don't complain. They didn't complain. They just was happy that they was winning, that they was having team success. So I just hope that come this game on Sunday, right, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, that the team does not seem to be distracted by AJ Brown running his big mouth, right? Hopefully the Eagles can come out and get a win and continue this win streak and put this shit behind them. But yeah, AJ Brown, man, shut the fuck up. Stop talking, man. Just stop talking. Just stop talking. Stop wearing your damn feelings on your sleeves. Y'all are winning. Y'all are in position to make a deep playoff run and possibly get back to the Super Bowl. Just shut the fuck up, man. All right. All right, guys. So don't forget to leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed. I know normally on this channel I do a lot of LSU stuff, but the name of the channel is between the numbers, so it's mainly meant to talk football, both college and pro. So I'm going to be pivoting towards, you know, that aspect, right? Talking first, both college and pro. And so now you know, right? My favorite college football team is LSU, and then my favorite NFL team is the Philadelphia Eagles. But please consider leaving a like, leaving a comment, leaving a subscribing and hitting that bell notification button so you can stay up to date on all the latest videos and drops, right? I know I haven't made a video in a while and haven't posted anything, so I'm pretty sure this channel has fallen out of the algorithm. So please leave a like, leave a comment to help me get back into the swing of things and back into the algorithm. Okay. All right. Until next time, I'm out.